Hello, all the Diamond Girls Rock podcast listeners. Hello out there in podcast world. Today, I have a very special guest. We are on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube, and you also can listen to us here on Anchor under Diamond Girls Rock podcast. Well, we have this young lady is from my home state, Texas. She's a beautiful, amazing young lady, and I love her hair. She's inspired me to get some purple hair. Maybe I try a purple streak. But she is a national influencer. She owns her own Batcave. She also has 14 years in the industry. She's an instructor, and at her shop, they also perform tattoos. And we're going to
Not in the shop.
Okay.
Next to the shop. Not in the
next
shop. Next
to the shop. Excuse me, next to the shop. We're going to welcome Amber Marie. Hello,
Hi.
Amber.
Hi, nice to meet y'all. Hi, guys.
Amber, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, please.
So my name is Amber Marie, and I've been a national educator for approximately 4 years. I've been an industry professional for about 14. I have a Cosmo, a barber, and an instructor's license. I worked for a national hair brand called Johnny B Hair Care. And I also not only own my own barber shop, I actually own my own barber expo. So a barber expo is something that you would go and battle at, or you can see live performances. There's a lot of benefits to having a barber expo. It brings the industry together, and that's really what I love to do. I'm an educator at heart, and here we are at the Batcave.
All right. Amber, how did a woman come into the world of cutting hair, being a barber?
You know, that's actually a great question. I'll be honest with you, as a female barber, it is cutthroat. Let me tell you why. Because the barber industry is predominantly men. A few years ago, women started getting in the game. We started kind of coming up a little bit and being noticed as a barber. But you're going to go traditions. It's not a woman's world. It's a man's world. So you're coming from clientele. That's your money. Your money is your clientele. Your money is not the barbers or the barber shop. Your money is your clientele. So it's all about retention. If I can't retain a man, I'm not going to make any money. I'm doing color for 3 years at the beginning of my career. It was never really my thing, but I can do it. So when I started getting into the man portion of it, I started realizing you need to be relatable. You need to be good at your job. And it really comes down to skill level. You need to know what you're doing. You need to understand how to have a proper consultation. You need to understand how to relate. But I tell you this much, once that man sits in my chair, that's game. That's it.
That's game. That's it.
That's game. Yep.
She said that's game. All you listeners out there in the Texas area, make sure you go by the Batcave and sit in her chair. So
it's amazing. Yes. You've never seen a shop like it.
It is. You all have to see her shop. It is like awesome, totally awesome. I mean, I wish we could go around and you can see it, all the podcast listeners, but you can, because you can see this video on my YouTube.
There
so
you go.
You can. How long have you worked in this field?
So I've worked for the industry, including Cosmo, for about 14 years. And I started transitioning into the barbering world about 4 years ago. I became an educator for Johnny B 3 years ago. And that was the moment it kind of really changed my life. I had already went to instructor school. I already got my license to do that. But I'm a strong believer in not feeling comfortable. And let me explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
So when in my philosophy, in my mind, and this is how I keep going and keep striving and keep doing things that I do, I believe in feeling uncomfortable, because if you're feeling comfortable, then you're satisfied. You're not making moves. You're comfortable. You're stuck, or you're just living your life, whatever the case is. If you're uncomfortable, you're making moves. When you're making moves, that means you're making attention. You're drawing yourself in. You're making your money. You're making your dreams happen. It does not happen overnight. Trust me. Does not happen overnight. I've been kicked off my horse so many times, and I'm Texan. So by the way, that's a Texan thing.
Yeah.
Say that in LA, they're gonna be like, did it hurt? No. I've been knocked down so many times that I didn't ever utilize that as a crutch. I used it as a learning lesson. And every time something happened that didn't go the way I wanted it, I made it better. I had been doing my hair show. It's called Talent Beyond the Chair. I started that in 2018. And my first show, considering it was a flop, but it worked. I mean, I paid out my barbers. I got my things. I had 12 vendors. I was able to make it work. I took a year, I networked, I met a lot of people. I did a lot more research on what these shows provide and what you're really looking for. Came back with it last year. I had over 300 people in my event. I had 14 per category. I had 7 categories. I had brought somebody down from New York who was actually a celebrity barber. I mean, it was amazing from the first to the second how much it grew. And, you know, all I can tell people out there is anything you want to do, you can do. Even if it seems like it's impossible, always use that as a learning lesson.
So within that year, you're telling the listeners and myself that you went around meeting other barbers. You didn't give up. You continued to build relationships, build a rapport, and you had even more vendors, more participants.
Absolutely.
But you took that year.
I did take that year. I did. I wanted to really experience a barber expo. And not only did I take that year to network, I actually competed myself. So I would get on stage and I would compete next to these amazing barbers in Texas. Half the time I was the only female on stage. So, and I didn't sit in the back. I sat in the front.
No, you're not a backseater.
No, I didn't sit in the back. I sat in the front. I made myself very known. And whether I won the competition at the end of the day, I accomplished my goal because I made impacts on many people. You know what I mean? And that's my whole goal in this entire industry, is to make people understand how much you can make in this. And it's possible no matter where you're at. I have 2 kids. And up until about a year ago, I was a single mother. So I've done this with 2 kids. And, you know, the first year I opened up a shop in San Antonio with a partner, and that was in 2018. His shop is called Clipper Knowledge Hair Studios. And I opened that up with him. I swear on my life, I made $100 a week, girl, for months. And
wow.
I made it work. Yeah. 2 kids making $100
a week.
I did it, and I stayed with it because I knew that in the longevity of it, I was going to make it work. And I did. It took me about a year, but I went from $100 a week to $1,500 a week. You were
determined. You had the tenacity.
You have to be.
Yes, very determined. You put the hard work in. And to others out there that's listening, some people don't understand about putting the work in. Explain to them, Amber Marie, about putting that work in.
You know, I will tell you that the stress, you just adapt to it, you know, but it's hard, especially as women. You know, we have a lot more emotions than, you know, I'm not saying that all men are emotionless or anything to that nature, but, you know, our emotions come out a little different. You know, we have a little bit of different feelings. So for me, it was more of fighting. I got told a long time ago by a gentleman, and he told me, fight the wolf. And I never understood that term until I started to see it. You know, fighting the wolf means every time you want to stay in bed, you're tired, it's stressful, you don't have your bills paid, you don't know what you're going to do. It's Christmas time, pandemic hit. You know, I opened my shop during the pandemic. I opened my shop in September.
Wow.
I made this happen during the pandemic. I moved from San Antonio to Harlingen, Texas during the pandemic. So regardless of what was happening in my life, I knew that I needed to make it work. And that's when it comes down to the hustle. Okay, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
from Harlingen. I opened up a brand new barbershop, had zero clientele. I've had over 1,000 walk-ins in 3 months.
Wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You
Thank
talk
you.
about drive. And it's
Yes.
amazing. Like you said, during a pandemic, when so many others are losing jobs, having to come up and be creative, create employment for themselves. You moved and opened a shop during a See, that's what makes you a diamond girl. That's why you're sitting here this
Thank you
afternoon.
so much. I got chills because it sounded really crazy coming from your mouth.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
It is
You,
possible.
yes, and anything is possible. What is your biggest accomplishment, you would say, out of your 14 years in the business? Your
My
biggest accomplishment?
barbershop. My barbershop,
Okay.
100%. I absolutely love my hair show, but my dream has always been to have my own barbershop. I'm a huge Batman fan. So it's funny because I didn't really design this specifically for kids. I designed it for me. But it just happened to work out really well because I specialize in autism. So I don't have autistic kids myself, but I
Mhm.
experienced many, many years ago that autistic kids tend to get denied in barbershops or any kind of salon environment, particularly because they can be a safety factor. So
Mhm.
it broke my heart when I started doing my own research on how to do, proper marketing, proper location, because it all comes down to location too. You
Right.
know, you need to make sure that you have yourself noticeable. So, I picked a location that's right across the street from a Sonic. It's next to a tattoo shop. I have 2 stoplights in front of me. And then the outside of my shop is completely Gotham City, all the way to the back. Like it's all Gotham City, so you can see it from literally a mile away. So I went big, I went hard, and it worked out to my benefit. So I would
Mhm.
say my biggest accomplishment is my shop because it's not only blessed me, it's blessed my family and it's blessed other people who have benefited from my dream.
Yeah, I think that we have someone there that have benefited from your dream that we're
Yes.
going to bring in a little later.
Yes.
What do you think? Well, now I know your unique skill, but I must ask the question so our listeners would know. What would you think that's your most unique skill that makes you successful and separates you from the rest? One is that you work with autistic children.
True.
Let the listeners know
My
about your other.
I'll be honest with you, my unique skill is me. um
Yes, yes, she's full
I
of
am
life,
a
full of
I
personality.
am, and you know what? This is me on an everyday basis. I am great. I'm a customer service guru. I love customer service. I love educating people that don't have a clue of what I'm talking about. That's why I'm good at product sales. I sell product like nothing. Like I'm giving a glass of water. I can sell product, and that's just because I know how to relate to people. That would be a unique part of me. I know how to relate to people.
Okay, so she's good at product sale. Now,
Yeah.
for the ladies that's looking or the ladies that's listening, ladies out there who need oily hair, what would you tell them to do?
What would I tell them to do if they wanted oily hair?
If their hair is too
Or if
oily,
they have oil, if they have too
yes,
much
if
oil.
they,
Well, see, here's the problem with oily hair is that you don't want to take out all the oils. We need our natural oils in order to give ourselves moisture, right? But if you have an overabundance of it, you want to clarify your hair at least once a week, depending on how bad it is. But in reality, you want to use a shampoo that's going to be sulfite free and doesn't have moisture capabilities. So, for example, if you color your hair or you do perms or relaxers or anything to that nature, you want to use a reconstructing conditioner. Not every day. Don't use your conditioning agent every day. If you have oily hair, you only need to use a leave-in conditioner every day just to give yourself a nice sleek shine, nice smooth finish. But if you use a conditioner with it, you're going to make it even worse. So clarify yourself once a week and use a conditioner about twice a week and a leave-in every day.
There you go. You heard it from the boss babe. We gonna call her the
Boss babe.
boss
That's
babe.
yes. Yes.
Okay, boss babe. What is it that you would tell your younger self, Amber Marie? What would you tell your younger self?
Oh God. You know what? I would tell my younger self I'm proud of you. I am.
Okay.
Yeah, because I went through, I did not have a good, upbringing. I went through the struggle. I literally had to teach myself how to hustle. Um, so I'm proud of myself. I would tell my younger self, thank you for not giving up, because I could have went many different directions. I'm 31 years old. So there's been a lot of years of choices that I could have made
You
differently.
still a
And
baby.
girl, I feel 50. But yeah, I mean, I really am. I'm proud of myself because I could have given up a long time ago and turned to things that would not be, not be beneficial right now. And thankfully I didn't. And, my whole goal is that my kids can see that, because I'm a hard worker. So, I don't get to spend time with my kids as much as I want. But now that I'm a self-employed business owner, it gives me the opportunity to be the mother that I want to be as well, So,
Yes. I think that was one of my greatest accomplishments. When I was younger, I had my own business. I ran a nonprofit, and I was able to make my schedule where I still was able to spend the quality time with my two girls. Look, my daughter is your age. They're-
oh my God. Well, you don't look like you could have a daughter my age. Well,
yeah,
hello.
I have
What
two.
skin
That's
cream do
why.
you use?
Well,
Woo.
thank you. I have two, yes. So both of them are grown now and out of their own, living their lives. But I was able to spend that quality time, attend basketball games,
I
go
love
see them
that.
cheerlead. So I know what you mean as being a parent. Now you can set your hours where you are there for your babies. And not only the babies, you're there for that. Amber is not telling us that she is a new bride. Well, she's going to be
Oh, I
getting
am. I'm getting married
yes,
in April. Yes, he asked me.
yes,
Yes, I'm getting
yes.
married in April. Actually, my husband's here too. And you know what's crazy is I met my husband in the industry. He works for Armstrong McCall, which
Mhm.
is and probably in your state it would be called Cosmo Proof.
Oh, okay,
And
yes.
okay, so he works for that company, and that's our national distributor. So the company that I worked for, Johnny B, they only distribute to Armstrong McCall. So my husband happened to come to the education. I did a South Padre event I think about a little over a year ago. And he came and he was a guest and he saw me on stage. Then he saw me at the World's Fair, which it's a venue of about 1,000 people. Or, I'm sorry, 10,000 people. He saw me
Wow.
performing. Yeah, yeah. That's a show. That's a show that you never sit down at. And I was the only female working the stage. So it was,
Wow.
yeah.
You
I'm
caught
telling
his
you,
eye.
I I snatched him off the tree, man.
Yes.
I didn't even know it, and then I did it. But I was blessed because our industry, we go hand in hand as far as the industry is concerned. So he's helped me build the shop just as much as I've helped myself. So it's a beautiful partnership. So I'm excited to be his wife.
I'm excited for you. I am excited and happy for you.
Thank you.
You said earlier for our listeners out there that you didn't have this, because a lot of people think when you own your own business, you had this glamorous life. You came from, it was passed on to you, or this big amount of money. So, would you tell those listeners that are everyday people that have a dream, but not allowing their passion to push them into their purpose? Can you help them there? Give them that push that they
I
need.
will. I can, because I was the scared person. I was a general manager for Great Clips. I worked for Great Clips for 6 years. Okay, and I was comfortable with salary. I was comfortable with base rate. And I started getting into the understanding that there was a whole different life that I had no idea about, which was self-employment. it scared me, but it was so intriguing. I kept hearing these people say, I made this. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you know how many paychecks I have to save to make that? Like, Lord. So I took the jump. It was scary, particularly because I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how, I didn't even know how to manage money. What if I wasn't going to make my money that week? I'm a barber, so it's inconsistent. So, we have our busy times and we have our slow times. We have days we sit here all day long and we don't do anything. You might have clientele, but you're still going to go through that day. So it was terrifying for me, especially not having the guidance of budgeting. I didn't know anything. I felt like I was so blind to how to live that it was impossible. Well, when I first started working at a shop, I realized that it was way more satisfying because I wasn't working as hard. As far as hours, I was like 70 hours a week working at Great Clips versus me being here from 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday. It was a lot more easier. And, I just started teaching myself, I started teaching myself how to budget, so I know if I do $20 a haircut, if I do 8 haircuts a week, I'm going to make $1,000 a week. And that's underselling myself. So your goal would automatically be eight clients a week, and that's a little goal. So I started doing that. I started trying to figure out different ways to make money more understandable to me. And it just kind of went into place after a while. But the main part of it is don't give up. Don't give up, because you're going to get the worst moments of your life during biggest times. I'm not biblical or anything, but there's a saying that, the Israelites, they were trying to go to the promised land. God gave them all the nutrients and all the fruits and water that they needed. As they got closer, they got selfish. God took it away, because in order to make the promised land, you have to learn to struggle.
Yes.
So if you truly want to be a successful person, you got to go through the struggle first, and everybody will.
And you have to have some doors slammed in your face. I tell people, the higher you go, the more lonelier it become.
Girl, I said that the other day.
Dropping off. Yes, it's lonely at the top. Yes.
So that's because you're soaring with eagles.
Right. Only birds fly together. Eagles.
Exactly. I love that.
Yes. What do you wish you had known starting out? What do you wish someone would have nudged you on the shoulder and said, Amber Marie?
Here. I wish that I would have been guided. I wish I would have been guided like I'm guiding my personnel, like I'm guiding my employees. I wish I would have done that, which means I wish that I would have started self-employment at the beginning of my career. I waited almost 10 years to do this. That's how uncomfortable I was, because I was so scared to lose the security of a paycheck, to the unknown of self-employment. What if I go bankrupt? It was so scary for me that I wish somebody would have told me, do it now at the beginning, not later. Now, stay consistent. You need to be consistent with anything that you do. You do your podcast on a regular basis. It would not be where it's at if you did not do your podcast on a regular basis.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So your consistency. So you need to be consistent with everything you do, and you need to be loyal. I am a strong believer in loyalty and honesty. I don't have much of a filter. Could be a big thing, could be a good thing or not,
but you have a lot of integrity.
Yes. I was going to say that's what makes me stand out. And I wish I had to learn that, though. I had to learn that. I wish somebody would have taught me that at the beginning.
Okay. And what inspires you? I don't even think you need inspiration. I think you inspire yourself. But I'm going to ask the question.
You're so funny. I do.
What inspires you?
No, you know what? I actually... you'd be surprised. I'm actually inspired. So I follow, and she's a dear friend of mine. Her name is Lucy Lady Barber, Lucy Fabio. If you haven't followed her on Instagram, y'all should. She's amazing. She's one of my biggest inspirations. Every time I see her on a flyer or a show, I get inspired because I can do that. I can be where she's at, and she's gone through the struggle too. You know what I'm saying? Like, she lived a hard life, and where she's at, it gives me chills. It's amazing. Like, I am so absolutely proud of her, but she has no idea how much she strives and inspires me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she even completely understands that every time I see her face on a flyer, I want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, that's my face right there. So I get inspired by other people's accomplishments. I love it. I love to see women do well. I love it. It's so hard for us sometimes, and it doesn't. I know that sounds crazy. But it is. It's so difficult for us.
And people don't understand that being a woman,
I think they do,
comes with, the perception is different when you walk into a bank as a woman business owner versus your male counterpart. It's different when you're asking for help for real estate, in the real estate world.
Absolutely.
To get a new building. So everything is different, and the doors are slammed in our face.
It's true. I have men. I own this barbershop. My name is on the outside and the inside, and I have men that do not want me to cut their hair, and they can tell me all day that I'm wrong because I'm a woman. And the reason I know I'm right is because I will ask them, well, why not? I'm available. Why don't you want to come sit with me? You're walking in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because I went somewhere, because you got messed up. Come sit in my chair. Let me show you that we can do this. They sit in my chair, they get a great haircut, they get a great conversation, and the experience all around keeps them in my chair.
Keeps them there.
So it's all about confidence. Yeah, it's about confidence. You have to get what you want, and you need to be direct with it. Don't float around. Don't beat around the bush. No, when you want it, get it. And that's all I got to tell you, women, is that you've got to be assertive to a point. Obviously, we need to be respectful, and and you don't need to take off your clothes and look all trashy to do it. You don't. I wear fully clothed outfits all day long, and I get very good tips, all off my conversation. So you don't have to use raunchiness or sexuality to get to where you want to be. You just be yourself, be professional, and be real.
And be a business owner. That's the main thing. Is I believe in female entrepreneurship. I try to inspire. I have a Diamond Girls, not only the podcast, but I go into schools also. And I've been going into schools over the past 20 years. So I try to inspire, young women. Try to give them that early financial education starting in junior high, so they can one day come out here and own their own business, save their money, and know what they want to do. Because we all hear that go to college, graduate, go to the corporate world. Everyone is not going to take that same path in life. So we have to teach and equip our young ladies. So yes. Absolutely. I believe in female.
I love that. I love that you do that. I didn't know that. That's amazing. I need to bring you out here and have you do a class for us. That would be awesome.
Yeah, wow. That is my passion. That's my passion there.
I love it. That's when I hired my stylist. That's what I told him. I said, you know what? I said, my goal for you is to own. You want this one day, right? You want your own shop? And he was like, yes. I said, that's my goal for you. I want you to make as much money as you possibly can so you can do this. That's our ultimate goal for anybody. It should be, at least, is for them to be where you're at. That's something that I didn't get. I lacked. A lot of people just utilized my heart, my goodness to their advantage. And I lacked the proper guidance. And, that's what I want to bring to people. I want people to understand it's possible. Let me tell you, and not to get real personal, but I made $74,000 last year. That's as much as nurses and doctors. Well, not doctors, I wish.
Well, but, after the doctors pay those student loans, yes. After a doctor pays them student loans, he wish he did clear that 74.
Yeah, well, yeah. But, as a barber, that is almost unaccomplishable, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not, it's the way you perceive it. And if somebody can just give that perception and just twist it a little bit, it would help out so many women because they end up quitting. They end up
Mm-hmm.
quitting the industry, or they end up going to something different because, guys in the shop will disrespect them, or, not even just shop wise, just in general, just degrading. And instead of them trying to be better and work more and work harder, they get destroyed and they just quit and they do something different.
Yes,
And that's just very sad. That's just sad that that happens to women, and it shouldn't, because it's possible. And I
it
did that
is.
all by myself.
I congratulate you. Congratulations, and I commend you. What would you
Thank
say
you.
to someone that may be listening that wants to come out there to Texas and see you? What would you say to them? They want to learn from you.
Oh, come. I love teaching. I'm a talker, if you couldn't tell. So, no, it would be an honor. Anybody who ever wants to ask me a question, come and visit me. If you're local, or if you need me to go to your shop, your salon, your barber shop, your school, whatever the case is, I love doing it, and I will make that happen for y'all, because I I think that I impact a lot more than I even realize sometimes.
Hmm.
And every time I feel like I've hit somebody's heart, it makes me a better person. It makes me a better educator, and it makes me a better owner. So anytime, y'all are more than welcome to come.
And how would they contact you, Amber Marie? Give them your social media, your Instagram, and all that so they can contact you.
So you can contact me through, so my Instagram is Amber Marie 1340, super easy. My Facebook is Amber Marie, and you can also find it at 1340. That's going to be my tag, my handle. I'm on Google. I don't think I don't know how to use TikTok, but yeah. And I also have Snapchat, but the best way to get to me is Instagram and Facebook. I would go to those main social media networks and get to me through that way, because otherwise I probably won't see it. I don't use Snapchat very often.
Okay. So, listeners, you heard it out there, all you diamond girls. You heard it. The best way to get to her is through Instagram, Amber Marie 1340, and then Facebook, Amber Marie. And for those salon owners who would like her to come to your salon, if they wanted you to come, can they message you and say, Amber, can you fly up here? And I pay for
Absolutely.
you to stay a night to teach a class. How can they contact you to come to their shop across the
the best
United
way
States?
the best way to contact me, if you really want me to go to you, um you can contact me through Instagram or Facebook, but my shop phone would probably be better because we can talk directly. So I'm going to give you, it's 956 454 9666, and you can call me at any point in time and we can work out a deal. I would be willing to go, just because I love doing this. I'd be willing to go and even take my own expense just to help y'all out. So yeah, reach out to me, let me know, and we can work something out. I just like to help people, so whatever y'all need.
You heard it there, listeners. She'll be willing to come. But I want the listeners. We want to support one another. So if you invite
I
her,
like that.
pay for her flight and her hotel stay. We want to
Well, you heard her,
support
she said it.
one another. I believe in pouring into each other, because what you pour into someone else, it comes back to you. So we
I
have to
agree.
pour into other lives. So
I agree.
continue to flow. So she would come. I know we're in a pandemic, but everyone needs their hair done. Everyone needs to look good. And stylists love to learn more. And barbers, I know you men listeners, or you ladies who have husbands or boyfriends who are barbers, they would like to learn some new. It's nothing like bringing
Yes,
someone from Texas to New York to show them what Texas is doing, to mix that
exactly.
style together, to
I brought my
collaborate.
educator that I hired for my show last year. I brought him from New York.
So, oh, look at there. See,
Yep.
collaboration is what it's all about.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And once again, someone that may be scared, maybe they don't want they don't cut hair, but they do eyebrows. Can
Okay.
they open a barber shop?
Anybody can open a barbershop. You don't have to be a licensed professional to open a barbershop. You just have to have your shop approved by the state of whatever state you live in. I will tell you this from personal experience. I have worked for people who are not industry professionals.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard to understand the industry if you don't work in it.
Okay.
So I suggest always having some basics, at least, read up if you don't want to have the degree. Just get yourself very knowledgeable about, times of year, slow periods, retention, just the things that are going to deter your shop from being successful to being a successful shop. Just make sure you're doing your research, but anybody can open up their shop. Anybody can.
Now, for our live viewers, we're going to ask you to walk out there, get your Barbara and your upcoming husband. But the ones we're live on Facebook, you have to see. Please share this. Please, please,
Okay.
please. You have to
Okay.
see her shop. For
So
those
this
who are on YouTube, look at this shop.
So this is my shop, and we're actually this is Isaiah's. This is my brand new stylist. This is the one that I was telling you about. He has informed me of how much I inspired him, and I took his career from him not making maybe $100 a week to making less than 100. See, I mean, tell them a little bit about how you came.
Hello,
A little bit.
Isaiah. How are you?
Hi.
Hold on, let me turn you around.
Hello.
Hello, Isaiah.
So-
Welcome to the Diamond Girls Rock podcast. Say hello to our viewers out there. You're live on YouTube.
Hi, everybody.
Talk about guard guys, sorry.
Yeah, we were just talking about something else right now. Before I started here at the Batcave, I was making a little less than $60 every 2 weeks. And when I started here, I actually came with no clients. I needed work on my fading technique. And just since I started work here, everything has changed around drastically. I've actually been able to keep stable and improve a lot on everything I've done. Like all my, even customer service, like she showed me a lot on customer service.
I even taught him how to budget.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, save that money. Do you need it? So this is my wall.
Look at
This is
there.
Batmobile. We had a gentleman outside of Dallas come and do this in 3 weeks. This is
That
another
is
side of it. He
beautiful.
added a little speedboat there. This is my husband. This is the man of the hour.
Hello, future husband. Congratulations.
Yes, she called me out for not because I didn't introduce myself as So we're getting married in April.
Hello. Wave at our viewers, sir.
So this is my logo. And then outside, I'm going to show you. If you can see it, it's a little dark outside, but I hadn't even shown you this. So this is the outside of my shop.
Oh my goodness, look at there.
So this
Oh wow.
goes,
That's amazing.
He did this in 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, it goes all the way down the side. So it even goes.
Oh, he
all
did
the way
all
down
the
here.
whole building.
He did the
Wow.
whole building. Yes, he did the whole building. So talk about guerrilla marketing. I mean, I really cut the cake with guerrilla marketing.
Yes.
My goal was that you needed to see it. It needed to be standing out.
You stand out, and where that entire neighborhood, that community sees you. They cannot miss that barbershop.
They can't. They can't. Literally, it actually was before I actually took over this location. It was a barber shop for 5 years, and nobody knew it was a shop.
Oh, the marketing, the branding. They didn't brand
Marketing.
themselves.
It's all about how you market. Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly what it is. And I knew I'm not from here. My barbers aren't from here. Either I go big or I go broke. So
That's
they
right.
told me I could paint the outside. I said, well, what's a Batcave without Gotham City?
Well, you know what they say in Texas, everybody, what? Do it big.
That's right. Hey, this is a prime example. That's how we do it in Texas.
Now, tell our listeners, because they saw it on YouTube, how important is branding yourself? Because look, she has it down pat. You all that are listening, you have to go to YouTube and rewatch this video, and you would see how she's branded herself, the Batcave. Go ahead, tell how important it is.
Branding yourself is half the battle. It's very important, and let me tell you why that benefited me, particularly because if I didn't brand myself, people wouldn't be intrigued to want to come and see what I got to take care of, go to my education, go to my show. They wouldn't want to do any of that. So when I did the idea of the Batcave, actually a friend of mine helped me out with the name because I wanted it to be a Batman themed barbershop, but I couldn't figure out what to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my friend Richard Alvarez was like, call it the Batcave. And I was like, oh, perfect. Well, my name had to be added onto it. But let me tell you why that benefited, because I'm a known name in the industry, to the point where if my name is on the building, people are going to want to come in and see it. It targets not only the clientele, but it targets the barbers so that I can actually have people working for me, because that's hard to do too. Retention is a lot of what you have to deal with. If you lose retention, you start losing rapport, you start losing clientele, you start losing a lot of things. People are thinking, what is going on with that shop? So retention is a very important thing. And I feel like if you don't brand yourself, it's going to be hard to retain people because they're not going to respect working for you.
Yes, yes, yes. That is so important. Now, does your business cards have the Batcave? Do you have a card there? I want the YouTube to see the card.
I do. It's actually,
look, I'm having fun with Amber.
I designed, man, do you have a plastic card? Do you have one of the original COVID cards? So I actually ordered COVID cards. I just ran out not too long ago, but let me, Pat.
That's okay.
But let me show you, I have a paper version. Let me just show you a generalization of what it was, but they were plastic. I designed them myself. And yes, they do have my information very largely on there. And here is just a little sneak peek. I have these ones on my door. So they're
Look
paper.
At there.
Yeah.
Now, yes, I love that.
So I just ordered some. I actually get them on Vistaprint. And what I do with these ones is I keep them outside on my door so that when I'm not here or the shop is closed and somebody comes by, they can take the card off the door and they can use it so that they can call us and set up an appointment, or, my books, the information is on it. So it benefits us as far as losing clientele. But I did do all the design work on my cards. I actually ordered them from Vistaprint and it didn't even cost that much.
Look at there. So as you heard it, listeners, the Batcave, she has branded herself with the building. You see the bat sign.
This is my show.
Look at her shows.
That's me. And this is my show. This was last year. This is the gentleman I hired out of New York.
Okay.
That's Lacey. That's the one I was telling y'all to follow.
Yeah.
This was a makeup competition and these were my judges. And this was all me. I designed all this as well.
You are so talented.
Not really. I don't even know how I do it sometimes. To be honest, normally when I do anything creative, I give somebody the idea and they put it together for me. But
But see, you
But
hold all that talent inside of you, and you
yeah,
full of energy and life, and that's what makes it so good. I want
thank
to
you.
tell you, listeners, that this is truly a diamond girl. She's full of life. She's full of energy. She has her own business. She's very creative. She puts in the hard work. She knows where she come from. She realizes where she's at today and how she made it. And she understands that hard work brings success. So to all you listeners out there, I want you to look up Amber Marie 1340. Start following her. Start looking at all these beautiful colors that she has in her hair.
I actually just did this on Thanksgiving real quick.
We want to support her. Amber, it has been such a delight to have
Thank
you.
you. Yes,
This is
thank
one of
you.
my most favorite guests. I've enjoyed
Thank you.
myself. I
I know you.
enjoyed.
I was so nervous when I got on here, and you made me feel 10 times better. I'm so happy. Oh, thank you.
Yes. Just relax, relax on here.
Yes, ma'am.
Once again, go and follow her. We want to thank you, Diamond Girls. Want to thank you, the Diamond Girls Rock Podcast. We would like to thank you for coming on here, taking time out your busy schedule from running a shop and closing down to give us a few moments of your time. We want to
Yes,
thank you because someone this evening you have inspired someone's that's watching, that's
thank you.
going through during this pandemic. You have brought a smile on their face. You have encouraged them. You've given someone hope this evening that
Made me
they
cry, girl.
can become a business owner. They can get out there. They can move. They can do it. They can create them their own future. They can be a mom and still follow their dream and have a chance at love. You have really outdone yourself, and we congratulate you, Amber,
Thank you
this
so
week.
much for allowing me on your show today. I had a blast. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. And once again, this is Pat Pearson, your host at the Diamond Girls Rock Podcast. If you would like to ask questions, feel free to reach out to me at 313-587-3588. Once again, I can be contacted at 313-587-3588. And we have enjoyed having our guest, Amber Marie, from the Batcave from, hey, the state of Texas, where go big or go home.
Or go home.
Until next week's, ladies and gentlemen, please have a beautiful weekend.